Well, it's a big day for voters across the country, especially for people here in Five Country.
Well, now that Super Tuesday is over, we have many election results for you this morning, so let's get right to them.
Yeah, first we start with a big race here locally. The primary between State Senator Clint Penzo and incumbent Congressman Steve Womack for Congressional District 3.
The Associated Press called this race for Congressman Womack. As you can see, he has 54% of the votes.
Yeah, he'll go on to face Democratic candidate Caitlin Draper in November.
5 News reporter Morgan Wrigley is here now with the latest from both candidates and reaction after Womack's win. Good morning, Morgan.
Good morning. Congressman Womack said he's grateful and humbled by the show of support for his campaign in the primary, and he's ready to press on to November. Womack will face Democratic candidate Caitlin Draper in the general election. She ran unopposed in the primary. Womack says the biggest issues he's focusing on for voters are national debt, national security, inflation, and immigration. While Draper says at the top of her list are women's access to health care, climate change, housing affordability, and inflation. Both candidates say they're prepared to fight for the issues they believe are most important for voters.
We believe in the ideals and the principles and the values that made America the great country it is. Smaller government, lower taxes, fewer regulations, the things that made America great for the nearly 250 years we've been in existence are the things that I'm going to advocate for.
Folks have made it clear that they want change and they want to hold their leaders accountable. So there's been a ton of excitement around this campaign. We have house parties all over the district lined up, meet and greets. We're holding meetings with voters, with organizations. Folks are really excited, and our plan is just to stay focused on our race and to stay focused on our constituents and our voters.
Womack and Draper are both focusing on taking their campaigns throughout the rest of the year until they face off November 5th. Morgan Wrigley, 5 News.
All right, thanks, Morgan. We'll check back in with you later today.
Well, now let's get to other election results that you've been waiting for. The race to the White House, Republicans here in Arkansas overwhelmingly voted for Donald Trump to advance to the general election over Nikki Haley.
On the Democratic side, President Joe Biden also won in the natural state, solidly beating out other Democratic challengers. Same story in Oklahoma, where Trump has won nearly 85% of the vote in the Sooner State.
Meanwhile, President Biden also carrying Oklahoma with around 80% of the vote.
And it's no secret President Biden and former President Trump are edging closer to clinching their party's nomination.
Both came away from Super Tuesday with hundreds more delegates. But former UN Ambassador Nikki Haley, she picked up her projected win in Vermont, though still not enough to put a dent in Trump's massive lead. This morning, there are reports that Haley is suspending her presidential campaign, but we're waiting to hear from the former UN Ambassador later this morning. Meanwhile, the two frontrunners are shifting focus to a likely general election rematch.
Our poll numbers are so much higher than Joe Biden's. He's the worst president in the history of our country.
Well, in a statement, Biden described Trump as, quote, driven by grievance and grift and determined to destroy our democracy. Both Biden and Trump are expected to campaign this weekend in Georgia. That state and several others will hold their primaries on March 12th. Biden is also set to deliver his State of the Union address tomorrow.